my vision for TiE Boston is to be a dominant ecosystem builder within the New England community. I think it's very important for us to continue to invest in that because the breadth of areas in which we can play is very, very large. For example, beyond tech, where we are very good at, in life sciences, in medtech, I think getting connected with the other pieces of the puzzle here we have in Boston that could be tremendously helpful will make TiE Boston a dominant player in the ecosystem here in New England.
Welcome to Indian Immune News. Our guest today is Purnanad Sharma, whose term started actually today on July 1st, and we're very glad that his first assignment as a TiE president is here in our studio. Oh, you already had some calls before.
Oh, yes, I had a couple of calls. Thank you very much, Upendra, for having me, first of all. I think what better way to start the presidency than talking to you. So
we feel very flattered.
No, but I've been looking forward to it. I think I watch all your programs, but I think a good way to communicate as a medium on what TiE is all about and hopefully what we are going to accomplish. Perfect way to start.
Excellent. So, Purnanand, you have been a tech entrepreneur and done several companies. And you are the 14th president of TiE Boston at a very interesting time when a lot of changes is happening in technology and Boston, of course, being the hub of the life sciences, healthcare, medical, financial services, technology, great place. So, and you have also spent time in other marketplaces as well, in addition to Boston. So, as a president, what is your priority for TiE Boston?
I think first of all, I think, you rightly pointed out, Boston is an amazing ecosystem for all the reasons that you mentioned. Even beyond the ecosystem, I think the timing of convergence of so many things that are happening and that are changing makes this a great place to innovate. Okay, entrepreneurship and TiE is all about innovation, and I think to me the priority would be how do we build on the ecosystem that TiE has already built, but take it in a direction where we are more impactful, both locally and globally. This is becoming a very connected entrepreneurial network, but if we don't execute in a very solid way to take advantage of what Boston has to offer, the rest of it will not happen. So what I like in Boston and what I have seen is the amazing talent that we have in terms of social capital. So my priority would be to harness that. I think we have done an excellent job over the years of engaging a lot of very talented people, but we have a lot more. If we can harness that, I think Boston chapter will be regarded as one of the highest impactful chapters, first in New England. I think there's a lot here that can happen and even beyond that. So my priority would be really to take the TiE Boston to the next level. Using the capital that we have here.
So, can you also talk about some specific Boston-centric sectors in the industry, which are very important for the TiE Boston?
Okay, so we have always been a very savvy tech entrepreneur, and I think we continue to have that. We have multiple charter members in Boston that have reached a lot of heights, and we should double down on that, first of all. I think tech is still evolving, especially with artificial intelligence and some of the other advances we are seeing. So our goal would be to continue to double down and allow more entrepreneurs to come through in that space. Beyond that, Boston is undoubted leader in life sciences and medtech. That again is an area where I grew up in.
And that's what I'm going to say. That's your background.
That's my background. And even though I have been associated with the TiE, even before TiE Boston, I was associated with TiE even in the Bay Area. So I moved to Boston from the Bay Area in 2010, but I lived in the Bay Area for 10 years. So I've been watching TiE for more than 20 years. Here I see an opportunity with Boston being the ecosystem center for life sciences. There's a tremendous opportunity to expand our footprint from tech to medtech to life sciences. And there is no framework that is available today for the life sciences entrepreneurs, in my mind. That's where I think we can play a vital role in expanding TiE Boston. In addition to that, we are seeing very interesting groups that are expressing interest in real estate, in fashion, and in manufacturing. So naturally, we are going to, once you expand from 1 to 2 to 3, then you're going to see 4, 5, 6 segments are automatically going to grow, because we don't want to be monolithic. I think the idea here is entrepreneurship can come from all walks of life, and we want to be that.
And there was another case before. It was very technology-centric, TiE was.
Yeah. And it continued to, but I think the previous leadership like Yash and others have done a phenomenal job on expanding it. My job here is to sort of continue the journey so that we look like a framework for all kinds of entrepreneurs. And I think we have the ability to do it. Because again, coming back to our social capital, we have people who are experts in all those fields. We should just embrace that and bring them into the fold.
So now you have about 240 charter members. And that is a really big powerhouse. So how, if one thing you would like to change in the charter members' activities or behavior or excitement or engagement, what will be that one thing? What do we expect from the charter members?
Okay, first of all, I think, I would love to engage all 240 of them, okay, without leaving even a single one of them, because they're all as important as the other person is. I think what we want to sort of get a balance is, it's a two-way street in my mind. I think charter members also would like to gain some energy back from TiE as to something they're doing that they feel good about. What is that? It may be different for different people, so we need to understand that. Second one is, what does TiE want from them? Right? What TiE really wants from them, membership and all is fine, but really we want their intellectual ability to give back to future entrepreneurs. So that's the only thing that we ask them is, they don't themselves even have to be entrepreneurs. We have charter members who they are physicians, and they are content experts, they are financial professionals. They all have achieved certain heights in their life. They can be helping the entrepreneurs. So regardless of whether they're an entrepreneur or not, that's one thing that I think Yash, my previous president, and I was very clear from the beginning, is that you don't necessarily have to be an entrepreneur to help an entrepreneur.
Sure.
Right? So entrepreneurship is a very lonely journey, and you can get all the help that you need. So our expectation is that no matter who you are as a charter member, you can really help the entrepreneurs. And that's really what I want from them.
I'm also going to ask you about a couple of the other subsets in TiE. So let's start with the TiE ScaleUp program. What is your take, and how do you look at the TiE ScaleUp?
I think TiE ScaleUp has been one of our most successful programs that is being run for over 10 years now. If I just look at the statistics, over 100 companies scaled, raised over $450 million with 12 or 13 exits. That has now become sort of like a well-oiled clock in terms of our ability to help founders from seed to Series A. I think now we're using that framework to help other chapters that are actually coming to us and asking, how can we implement? I think what we really like to do now is, beyond the scale-up process, how can we effectively connect them with the investors? Because at the end of the day, mentoring and getting them to a place where the business plan is good, the pitch deck is good, but they need a venue to go and actually pitch. That's where I think building a relationship with several venture capitalists across various industries for us is helpful. Because that's kind of where I see the gap is, the deck is good, the pitch deck, the management is good, their ask is good, but how many investors can we introduce them to?
Yeah. Okay. And then TiE Angels you have, which is...
So on the TiE Angels, again, you brought it up rightly. Alok and the team has been, I think Pramod was doing the scale-up, and Alok and team are doing a phenomenal job. And I think we're one of the hottest TiE Angel groups, because many other chapters are co-investing with us. These are the companies that we are leading. I think TiE Angels and TiE ScaleUp, I see going them hand in hand. Because I think at some point, we'll get to a stage where even with as many as 230 people, we will also have to be selective. Rather than helping so many companies, can we help a few, but do it in a really, really meaningful way? So I think TiE Angels is going to be, again, a big success story for us. One of the things that we are also planning to do, taking these two together, is the India-US corridor. The companies that are actually being built in India that want to get into the US, these are now tech companies, deep tech companies, med tech companies, and biotech companies.
Huge opportunity.
Huge opportunity. How can we use our ScaleUp and our angels to come together?
And both way, from here
In
to
both
India,
as well as so this is where I see the ScaleUp and the angels coming together, because you need both of them to have that corridor work going both ways. So I think that is actually now getting very exciting, honestly, for the management team or the leadership team within TiE. Is we see that as a great opportunity for not only the companies but also for the investors. There are a lot of people even in sitting here in Boston who want to help companies and invest in companies in India. There is no framework to do that right now. So hopefully this will distill down to substantive opportunities where people can, one, help the companies, and if they're interested, even invest, regardless of whether they're in India or here.
Sure.
I think that would be a great.
And two other groups I wanted to briefly talk about is your TiE is already on autopilot.
Well, it can get better, because I think, what we are now making a push is to really increase our reach even into the inner city. I think we would like to bring in students not only from the suburbs but also from the city to come in and take advantage of the program. This program is
not necessarily Indian.
Not necessarily of Indian.
Anybody who
any student who wants to take advantage, I think we should absolutely be making a positive effort to make that happen. That program is very well run, and Gaurav Malik is doing a phenomenal job along with our TiE Boston office. I think that program, the goal would be to increase our reach. Right now, I think we're making a lot of effort, and we may even have more scholarships coming along the way for those who can't afford to come and take it. We charge a nominal fee, but even if we can take away that burden, I think a lot more students will come in. I think we're going to do that.
And then, of course, TiE Women.
Again, TiE Women's is a big success. I think we have some great sponsors like Subbu has been supporting us, and the events pitch competition this year. I think we're very excited. I think the deadline closed yesterday or Friday.
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah.
So Sunita is really championing that, and I think we'll have some fantastic. This time we're going to start focusing more on not only the selection process here, but how can we also better help the companies going for global pitch competitions. I think, last time, we did a good job. I think we did a fantastic team that went from here. But I think we're also trying to sort of, take a look at what types of companies are coming and see if we can focus on some of them where, the winners are always winners. But to the extent that we can get them to the next stage, even in terms of funding. Because I keep coming back to all our approaches at the end of the day, if they cannot launch into a funding cycle, it leaves a gap.
Now, TiECon is coming.
TiECon is coming.
I want to hear your view on TiECon. What's the plan and what's new? What is happening?
TiECon is happening on September 13th. For those of you who know, please mark your calendar. Love to see as many of you as possible. We are co-hosting this year with TiE New York, which is very, very exciting, and we are very excited to host them as well. I think it's going to be a very interesting format. We are doing a TEDx style this time, so that rather than having our conventional format, I think we're going to have some fantastic speakers, and this is really a way for us to showcase the breadth of what TiE Boston does and what TiE Boston has to offer. The funny thing that we are all going through is, is AI going to change everything or not? So I think there is still a lot of interest, but we didn't want that to make the theme. I think we wanted the theme to be a connected entrepreneur, because entrepreneurship is becoming global and connected. So the theme for this year is connected entrepreneur. So we want to show and showcase how the connectivity helps entrepreneurs. As I mentioned to you, it's a very lonely journey, when you're an entrepreneur. And oftentimes I say, first thing is you have to have someone at your home who's your spouse or significant other. I mean, I've been very lucky with Lakshmi over the years. And that's one level connection morally that you need at home. But beyond that, professionally, you need a lot of help and mentors along the way. So if you're sitting in an island, I don't think you can be an entrepreneur. So the theme for this year really is how connections work and how to be a connected entrepreneur. Because if you want to be an isolated entrepreneur, I don't think you'll be very successful. So that's really what the theme we're hoping to bring from various angles, how that connected entrepreneur actually works.
Okay. Now, I have to ask you about this question. I think you are the first TiE president who is totally crazily involved in the music and singing. So, is the so how your singing going on, and will it have do you have some musical programs in TiE? No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, thank you. So I'm not a great singer, and you're very kind.
No, you are a great singer. No, trust me that. Yes.
No, I think for me, music has always been an outlet. As an entrepreneur, I'm sure you know that very well. Is we all need some way to vent out, and clear our mind. I think that's the reason why I sort of still stuck to it. Nothing is off the table. If some people come in and say that, there's a lot of entrepreneurship in music too.
Actually, the other TiE Boston president, I don't know if you know him, Pratt Moge.
Oh, yeah, Pratt. Actually, Pratt's, Pratt and Prabhas. Yeah. Pratt's twin brother, Prabhas, and I were in grad school together.
Okay. So
Pratt is a tabla player.
Tabla player and good, absolutely.
So, yeah, I mean, I think, maybe in a social settings, we certainly can do that.
Maybe you should do a musical segment. No, I'm just kidding. That's not. But I think it would be good to have for some sort of
some fun, because we're not all stuck up in our own isolated ivory towers. But I think it's all about community at the end of the day, right? Even here, it's all giving back, and I think having fun. I was actually the reason I got into this was, again, I went to the TiE Global with Yash and a bunch of others in Brazil, and one thing led to the other. We had a music program, spontaneously, right?
Actually, I saw one of the videos somebody had posted on the social media. I said, "Wow,"
So that's how the connection was made, and that's when Yash and I sort of, got together. So I think it'll be fun. We're going to have a lot of fun. I think you need that. I think there's always serious stuff that you do, but people have a lot of talents here. I mean, music is just one of them. Yeah. But
so now, can I do a quick fireside chat with you?
Absolutely.
Just for fun?
Yeah.
Okay. Who is Purnanad Sharma? I know I'm starting tough here.
Yeah, Purnanad Sharma is someone who grew up in Visakhapatnam, India, and came here as after my undergrad, and sort of never thought I would be an entrepreneur. So I was a very technical person, but at the same time, I was never happy with what I was doing. And my motto is I'm very uncomfortable being comfortable. I always try to do something different. So TiE is that, right? I have not taken leadership of any not-for-profit so far.
It's the first time.
It's the first time. So there's always going to be first time. So I need something to sort of, so that I wake up every morning and say I need to learn something. So that's what I am.
So if you are not entrepreneur, what other career you would have?
I'm a musician.
No question. No question. Yeah. And how did you get involved in music? Yeah.
No, it was generational. So my grandfathers, one of my mom's side grandfathers was a Prasishya of Tyagaraja, meaning he directly learned from Tyagaraja Sishya as one of the Trinity of Carnatic music. So it sort of ran in the family. So I grew up listening to a lot of classical music. So when I had an opportunity, I learned a little bit, not a lot, and then it sort of continued with me. So it was very by osmosis almost.
And who is an entrepreneur for you? What are the key characteristics of an entrepreneur?
Yeah, so to me, an entrepreneur is someone who is a believer in change. Okay, if you don't believe that you can change something, you will not be an entrepreneur, because status quo is not entrepreneurships. And the question then becomes someone who has some bound on what that change could be. They should be able to see the quantum of change, and is it achievable or not. For example, I want to find a cure for cancer. That's great. It's a goal. It's something that you can never achieve right away, but you should be able to figure out a way to say, okay, in that path, what are the steps that I need to take, and go through that in a very objective manner and believe in that change, that you can make the step. I think to me defines as an entrepreneur, because if they cannot see the change and work backwards, it's very difficult, because then you'll be lost.
Now, the society and everybody is obsessed with success. I want your views on failure.
I am from an industry where 90% of the time we fail. Okay, so if you are deterred by failure, again, you cannot be an entrepreneur. And this is where I feel that, at least coming from the life sciences background, I'm more comfortable. So the mantra in life sciences is kill cheap and kill fast. If you cannot kill an idea, it should be good. So we approach.
I never heard that.
So that's how we say the probability of a new molecule becoming a drug. after you complete all your animal testing is less than 5%.
Mhm.
So there is 95 reasons to kill that molecule. There are 5 reasons why you should keep it alive. So if you can answer that question, so to me, failure is part of the process.
Mhm.
And if you are not able to effectively divorce yourself from the reality of the data, and the other saying that I had in my office all the time is, in God we trust, everyone else bring data.
Mhm. Mhm. Of course, I am also a firm believer in data and numbers, they never lie.
So even if it's your own idea, if the data are telling you that you could be wrong, we should be able to accept it. If you don't, then... And again, one of my very old mentors used to say, "Don't get married to molecules because they die." So in our business, that's actually what happens. Is you are a great scientist, you find a molecule, you think this should be a drug, and there are several other reasons why it cannot.
Well, Purnanand, if you marry Lakshmi, then what else you need? That's the best marriage I can think of, right? Yes.
I know. Just thank you for saying that. She's been wonderful. So
Excellent.
as usual,
Yes. Purnanand, thank you so much. It was a
Thank
pleasure
you.
talking to you.
Thank you.
Looking forward to continue
Yeah, I
our
know.
conversation.
Thank you so much for what you guys do. I think you are a big partner for TiE,
Thank you.
and I
Thank you.
continue to count on your
Thank
help.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Bye.